All right, y'all. We are back with more of what I'm going to call a war, a legal war that's breaking out between Tony Buzbee, representing the plaintiffs against Diddy, meaning the people suing Diddy for SA. And y'all know what SA stands for, y'all. This is YouTube, so use your imagination. The people who are suing Diddy, and now at least one lady who's suing Jay-Z, represented by Tony Buzbee. He's a high-flying Texas attorney who has taken on the big and small and won goodness knows how much money. Now, he is locked into a battle with Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro. Now, as we can see here, XXL Magazine is reporting, and this is all over the news. Let's read this. Today, the Buzbee law firm actually filed suit against Roc Nation and lawyers Today, the Buzbee law firm filed suit against Roc Nation, that's Jay-Z, y'all, and lawyers Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel for a violation of various state laws, including bar entry and impersonation of a public official. What is going on here? The case was brought on behalf of a former client of the firm who was allegedly solicited by agents working on behalf of the defendants. These agents pretended to be working for the state of Texas and offered the former client money to sue the Buzbee law firm. This illegal conduct has happened more than 24 times to date and has resulted in 2 utterly frivolous cases against the firm. So Buzbee is saying, you guys contacted my people and told them to sue me, and now I have to deal with these 2 frivolous suits that you all have caused my people to launch against me. The lawsuit filed today alleges that the defendant's conspiracy is intended to obstruct justice and prevent the Buzbee law firm from pursuing. The lawsuit filed today alleges that the defendant's conspiracy is intended to obstruct justice and prevent the Buzbee law firm from pursuing cases related to the Diddy litigation in New York. The conduct isn't just alleged, it was caught on tape. So Buzbee's like, I got y'all on tape. Y'all, we haven't seen the tape yet though, have we? Defendant Marcy Croft, who describes herself on social media as part of, quote, Team Rock. Now, as we can see here, as reported by Red Media, Buzbee is accused of fraud, abuse, and extortion in 2 recently filed federal suits by his previous clients. So this is what he is referring to in this filing or in this press release that we just saw. Okay, both lawsuits allege that he has a pattern of harming his clients and cite previous lawsuits filed against him, including one which says he, Buzbee, assaulted someone. So let's read. The other lawsuit alleges Buzbee misled and financially harmed his client, Adam G., a former ship captain, while representing him in a personal injury case in 2020. Mr. G claims Buzbee and his firm took 98% of his financial disbursement and 74% of his overall settlement, according to the suit. So you have people coming after Buzbee. These people are former clients of his, and Buzbee is saying, well, they're coming after me because people associated with Roc Nation are trying to find them and convince them to come after me. Okay? So Buzbee is going at Roc Nation, saying that you are going to find my previous clients and convince them to come after me. So that's Buzbee. He's going at Roc Nation. At the same time, you have Alex Spiro, who's on Roc Nation's side, who is an attorney for Jay-Z. And even though Roc Nation and Jay-Z are not the same entity, we're going to treat them simultaneously as if they were the same entity for the purposes of this, because they're connected, Jay-Z and Roc Nation. So you have Mr. Spiro, who files his own pleading with the court today, saying, defendant Sean Carter respectfully submits this memorandum. So this is a memorandum of law in support of his emergency motion for an order to show cause and an order for the preservation of evidence and to strike plaintiff's complaint pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12F1. Okay, so this is a memorandum of law which is going to support Jay-Z's previous motion, which basically says, hey, judge, would you toss this whole thing, this whole lawsuit against Jay-Z, which was filed by this woman who says Jay-Z did terrible things to her when she was 13. Would you just toss that? Would you get rid of that? Would you dismiss that? So this is a memorandum of law in support of that. So the preliminary statement, admissions by the plaintiff. Now, plaintiff is the girl who was 13, who's now a grown woman. Admissions by the plaintiff and damning admissions by her own father in a December 13th NBC interview cast yet further doubt on a claim that was obviously false from the start. Timeline, location, and occurrence of events alleged in plaintiff's complaint are rendered impossible by these admissions. She claims her father picked her up after the assault. I guess he doesn't remember. There's something missing here. I guess let's just read into it. He doesn't remember ever taking that 5-hour trip. She claims she spoke with musician Benji Madden that night. He was not even in New York. She claims the assault took place at an after party hosted in a private residence. Photos show Mr. Cardi at an after party at a nightclub. When pressed by NBC, plaintiff was forced to admit, I have made some mistakes. I have made a mistake in identifying. Not all the faces there are as clear. And even that she was, quote, guessing about key details, including the time it took to reach the venue. What is more, she admits she does not have a single corroborating witness for the last 24 years. Now, I'm going to break here, y'all. This is something that I've been saying. The problem with this lawsuit is there is absolutely no corroboration, whether it be a witness, whether it be a ticket stub to the VMAs. I know that she said she didn't go in, but I'm just saying the kind of things that could corroborate. Witness, ticket stub to go into the VMAs, some kind of thing that they were giving out at the party, some kind of party favor or something that she kept all these years. And she says, look, see, I was at the party. They were giving these things out that you could validate. Oh, yeah, they were giving those out. Those were unique to that party. And they were giving those out, and she has one. How does she get it? So she would need something to corroborate her story. And as of now, and I'm not saying there is nothing, as of now, her side has not presented a thing. Nothing to corroborate her story. So for everybody who wants to believe her, we have to also be honest. We have to be fair. If she wants us to believe her, she has to be able to present something beyond just her word. As I said on stream the other day, if she can't present anything beyond just her word, then anybody in the world who says, oh yeah, I was there with her, they did that to me too, they would be on the exact same footing that she's on. They would just be giving their word. So frankly, the whole world, and I know this is a crazy exaggeration, but the whole world who was born and who could have possibly been there that day could say, oh yeah, I was there too. And they would be in the same position she's in, having given their word with no corroboration. So basically, until she has given corroboration, this whole thing, in my opinion, is not going anywhere. We continue. Plaintiff's unsupported allegations crumble under scrutiny as the evidence and lack thereof reveals glaring inconsistencies and outright impossibilities in her story. Her account describes a jumbotron at the scene of the Video Music Awards, but according to NYPD sources and MTV producers, no such jumbotron existed. MTV applied for a permit to install one, but was denied. She references a house that supposedly fits the description of the location of the alleged assault, but no such house exists. And plaintiff's allegations become even more dubious when considering the nightclub evidence. Photos from the night in question show Mr. Combs and Miss Jennifer Lopez at both Lotus and Twirl clubs in New York. NBC reported that photos separately show Mr. Carter was at Lotus following the VMAs. Taken together, the factual inconsistencies, timeline impossibilities, and lack of corroborating evidence make plaintiff's allegations in the FAC wholly unreliable. Now, some people have said that this plaintiff may have confused the date, the 2000 VMAs with the 2003 VMAs. We talked about this on stream where Tisa from Tisa Tells, she goes over it. She says she did her research, and I was satisfied with Tisa's evidence that perhaps if there's any merit to this, and I'm not saying there is, but if there's any merit to these claims, perhaps the plaintiff confused the 2000 VMAs with the 2003 VMAs. That still leaves her with tremendous problems, the biggest of which being there's no evidence that has been shown or presented who can corroborate her story. So you still just have her making a claim with no kind of evidence backing it up that they have shown to the public. Might they have something? Who knows? So I'm not going to say there is no evidence. I'm just saying they haven't shown it to us. So as we can see in this back and forth, we have Buzbee saying, hey, you guys are actually coming after me. And you have Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, saying, hey, Buzbee, you're coming after us, without any evidence. So I think this is, at this point, it feels like it's getting to be more than a tit for tat. It feels like these guys are really going to legal war. I want to know what y'all think. I want to hear your opinion. Let me know. Do you believe that this will continue to erupt? I don't see this settling down at any point. Also, tell me, which side do you think has the upper hand at this point? We don't need to debate whether we think she's telling the truth or not, okay? That been there, done that. Which side do you think has the upper hand? Is Buzbee, does he have the upper hand at this point, or does Alex Spiro and Jay-Z, do they have the upper hand? Let me know what y'all think.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. Well, he at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but I mean, that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. "I have made some mistakes," she said. "Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me." The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Buzbee, said, "Because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress." In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. "True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory."
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of, being chastised by their fans.